set up my timer here so I don't go over. Okay, so all you need is a chair. Ta-da! And we're going to start by sitting back in the chair. So hopefully your chair doesn't have any arms. We're just sitting back. We're resting our hands on our thighs. You can turn the palms down, or you can let the palms rest up. And if you're comfortable closing your eyes, you're going to do that. Otherwise, you're just going to soften your gaze toward the floor. And the first thing I'm going to ask you or invite you to do is to pay some attention to the breath. And as you do that, notice how it starts to really bring your focus inward. And what we're looking for is a way to settle into a little bit of silence. You know, the silence is always there. We just have to be quiet enough to hear it. And as you tune into your breath, let's place a little bit more focus today on the exhale. So you don't need to count, you can just feel it. Take an inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, make your exhale slightly longer than your inhale. Start to notice the sensations in your body where you're feeling that breath. For some of you, it may be in the belly, the diaphragmatic breath. As you inhale, the belly expands, and as you exhale, the belly pulls in slightly. Some may feel it moving up into the chest a little bit. Just noticing. And one of the things that we know about yoga that research has told us and continues to provide evidence for is that yoga increases our inner awareness, our interoceptive awareness. So it's not just about what's going on outside of us, but what's going on inside of us. That's really the gateway to healing. 3 more breaths. Lengthening the exhale. Feeling the expansion of the spine on the inhale. Good. And then when you're done, just go back to your normal free breath. But you can call on that expanded or extended exhale at any point in the practice if you feel like you need to focus inward a little bit. Go ahead and open your eyes if they're closed, and let's begin our movement. So we're just going to drop our hands down and we're going to scooch ourselves a little bit forward. And this is going to be a chance for our back muscles and our core muscles. So if you make a triangle shape right around your belly button here, this is really your center of gravity and where you can pull your abdominal muscles in to support the back. And if you look at me, our alignment goal for today is to get the ears lined over the shoulders and the shoulders lined over the hips as much as possible. So just take a moment and feel that. Feel your feet on the floor. They're parallel. They're about hip width distance. And then release your arms down and just take a moment in this very erect posture or mountain pose. Take a nice full in-breath here. Spread your fingers wide. As you exhale, go ahead and close your hands into soft fists. So you don't need to dig your fingernails in. You're just starting to link breath with movement. Inhale, expand and spread the fingers. Very good for arthritis. Exhale, you're going to close into little fists. One more time, maybe lift the arms up a little higher. Feel the shoulder blades moving down the back. Good. And exhale. Release that down. Excellent. And then go ahead on your next inhale and bring your fingertips up to your shoulders, keeping your feet and hips in line. You're just going to do some very slight little twisting motions here. So we're just starting to wake up. Again, we are using this core center of gravity, the hara point, and we're keeping the hips and knees moving in the same direction, but we're doing a little bit of twisting from the belly button up, okay? Good. Now, coming back to the center, you're going to pause there, keep your feet planted. On your next exhale, you're going to bend your elbow toward the floor, right elbow, and then bring it back up again. And then we'll switch sides, bend the left elbow. So I know I'm asking you to do something that's not easy. I'm asking you to isolate a little bit the upper body from the lower body. But when we do this, we're able to twist much more safely. Okay, we don't want the lower back to be in any sort of flexion when we twist. We want to keep that nice and extended. Let's do one more. Really drop it down. This time hold here and go ahead and just release your right arm toward the floor. And you can kind of wiggle your fingers like you were shaking some water off of your fingers. Let that shoulder drop away from your ear. Good. Some of you might feel comfortable stretching the other arm up toward the sky. Good. And then bring yourself all the way back up to center. Fingertips are on the shoulders. Drop it down to the left. Feeling all four corners of the feet and just dropping down the left fingertips. You're going to shake them out. Get rid of any tension or stress. Some of you may choose to extend both arms. Nice little shoulder stretch there. Good. Beautiful. And then bring yourself back up. And we're going to do some circles here. So just some nice elbow rotations, shoulder rotations. I like to think about making a full circle. So my elbows are going up toward the ceiling and then back toward the back wall. But that's going to depend on your range of motion. If you've had any surgeries in the chest or the armpit area, range of motion is going to be more limited. So you just do what you can. You really listen to your body. Let's go back the other way. All right, elbows are going full range of motion as much as they can. And for some of us, it's going to be quite small. It may look something more like this. For some of us, it may be bigger. But what I want you to pay attention to is how does it feel? We want it to feel good, right? Good. I can feel I'm starting to warm up in that shoulder already, and that's starting to free up the flow of lymph. So we want to increase that. We're going to do a little bit of arm vinyasa here. So we're going to move the spine in 5 directions. All right, so on an inhale, let's go ahead and reach those arms up toward the sky. If you need to bend them at any point, that's totally fine. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring your arms into a cactus position here. Take another inhale and squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then as you exhale, go ahead and bring the elbows and palms toward each other. And you're going to pull your belly button in toward the spine, rounding the back. Let's do that again. You're going to inhale, open up. Sometimes I turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing. You don't need to turn sideways. You just stay right where you are. Good. And then open back up again. And then from here, you're going to open your arms out to the side. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, you're going to cross your right elbow over your left. You're bringing your hands down to your thighs. Good. Inhale. You're going to stretch the left arm up toward the sky, and then you're going to take a nice side bend over to the right. Beautiful. Inhale, back up, and then drop that arm in front of the other one. Inhale. Reach the right arm up toward the sky, and take a side bend toward the left. Good. Keep the feet nice and firmly planted, and then release both arms down. Good. This time we're going to stretch the arms out into like a V position. So really opening the chest. As you exhale, you're just going to take a little twist. Your left hand's going to come to the right knee. Your back hand's going to come to the seat of your chair. As you inhale, get a little taller here. And as you exhale, you might twist a bit more, but it's the belly button, rib cage, and heart that are twisting. Hips are staying forward. Knees are staying forward. Let's go back to that wide V position, and let's take the twist to the other side. So we don't over twist the head here. We want to work on belly button, rib cage, lungs, and heart. Yeah. So we're going to work into these twists gently. Good. And then bring yourself back to the front and let your arms drop down into mountain pose again. Excellent. Let's try that again. Let's inhale the arms up toward the sky. We're aligning our bones here. As you exhale, you're going to come into cactus pose. Take another inhale, feel the shoulder blades come together on the back, and then rounding into your seated cat pose. Let's do that again. That feels good. Inhale, open up. Squeeze the shoulders, chest, heart forward. Exhale, rounding. Good. Taking your time here. Might be slower than me, might be faster than me. Open up. And then we're going to take the left elbow over the right this time. Hands come gently to the thighs. Good. Stretch your right arm up toward the sky, and then just take a nice little side bend. If this is too stressful on your neck, you can always support the base of your neck here with the elbow pointing toward the sky. Drop that arm down. Let's do the other side. Inhale, left arm up, and take your side bend. Just going far enough to feel the stretch, but staying firmly planted on your chair. Good. Come back up and release the arms down. Good. Now from here, you're going to go ahead and stretch the arms up into a wide V. So I really want you to feel that opening, like a bird opening its wings, and then take a little bit of a twist. Inhale here, get longer from the root, lift the belly button up. And then this time, yes, let's turn the head. After we've turned belly button, rib cage, lungs, and heart, then we can allow the chin to just look back over the back shoulder. Breathing here, never holding our breath. Holding just a bit longer than we did last time. So twists are amazing for us. Inhale, lift. And exhale to the other side. We want to make sure we're not overdoing though, really listening to the body. And that's where that interoception comes in. That the breath will tell you right away, right? If you've gone too far, this starts to happen. We want the breath to be smooth and steady. If you're feeling it like it's accessible to you, you're going to turn the head over that back shoulder. And then you're going to gently release and come back to the front. Last time, coming to mountain pose, a little bit quicker this time. We're going to inhale the arms up toward the sky. And as you exhale, you're going to come into your cactus position. 2 cactus claps. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, pull the belly button in and round your back. Opening up, linking with the breath. And exhale, releasing. Good. Opening up into a big wide position. This time your favorite arm will cross over. I'm going to do right over left. You do what pleases you. Inhale, stretch it up and take a side bend to the opposite side. Good. Come all the way back up. Let that hand that's up top fall down to your thigh. Take the bottom arm up toward the sky and take your side bend. So we're adding a little bit of resistance by pulling on that other thigh. And this is a takeaway. You can do this one at your desk if you're feeling it all stiff. Let's take that into the wide V position. Big breath here. As you exhale, you're just going to take this super gentle twist. I want you to feel that from the tailbone all the way up through the crown of your head. Now this time as you exhale, can you turn your chin over the front shoulder? Take another inhale and exhale there. Notice how that left hip wants to pop up. Encourage it to sit back down. Good. Inhale, other side, reaching. This starts to encourage lymphatic flow in the body, right? Every time we lift our arms overhead, we're redirecting the lymph down toward the center of the body. Thoracic duct is there. That's the largest processing plant for any toxins in the body. And so we want to encourage lymph flow there. Make that turn with your head. Roll the shoulders back and down. Gorgeous. And then bring yourself back to the front and take a breath. Excellent. So let's do some neck stretches before we move forward. For this, we're going to drop the chin toward the chest for a moment, just till you feel a stretch between the shoulder blades. And then as you inhale, you're going to look up at the sky and the chin's going to lift as well. If you feel tightness in the jaw, go ahead and open, wiggle your jaw around. Let's take that again. Drop the chin toward the chest on your exhale. If your neck is very tight, you might feel this all the way down your spine. Inhale, look up at the ceiling. Jaw might be a little bit stiff. You know what to do. Come back to the center. On your next inhale, just go ahead and drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. And then as you do this, really feel yourself letting go in the left shoulder. You can touch it. You can push it down a little bit more if you want. Yeah, you can notice mine's not going very far. I've been working a lot on the computer, neck is stiff. So I'm going to take my right hand just to my temple. I'm just adding a little bit of weight for a side pull here. And then maybe lift this arm up. You can kind of wiggle it back and forth. You don't want to feel too much nerve work. So if it gets up too high, you're going to feel like an electrical sensation. We don't need that. So go ahead and drop that down. And then turn your palm of the extended hand toward the back wall and just slide it behind your lower back. Take a big inhale and exhale here. So really allowing these scalene muscles along the side of the neck to release and let go. Beautiful. And then bring it back to the front. Oh my goodness, I felt that. Shake it out. Let's do the other side. Left ear toward the left shoulder. Now see how my shoulder starts to lift up? I'm gonna convince it. I'm gonna pet it. I'm gonna be like, settle down now. Let it go, let it go. Never quite sure what I'm holding on to in that left shoulder, but there's something. I'm gonna bring my left fingertips up to my head and gently encourage a little bit more stretch there. Not pressing down, but pulling sideways just slightly. Breathing here, I'm gonna lift my arm a little bit and just play with it, experiment. There's really no right or wrong here. We just don't wanna move into any pain. I'm gonna turn my palm backwards and I'm gonna slide the back of my hand behind my back. Good. You can close your eyes if that helps you to turn inward. We're focusing on that exhale today. Even if you need to exhale out the mouth, you got it. And then you're gonna release your forehead. You're gonna bring yourself back up and we're just gonna circle the shoulders here for a minute. So nice big circles and then circle in the opposite direction. Excellent. All right. Now from here, my friends, we're going to move way forward to the very front of our chair, and we're going to start working with the legs a little bit. So first, we're going to just inhale, and I want you to grab under your knee. We're going to pull the knee up toward the belly. And let's do some circles with the foot. Now, if you find it's difficult or your arms get tired, you could also use a strap under your thigh to hold your leg up. But if it's possible for you to do your hands, go for that. You're circling the foot in whichever way feels good. I'm going in both directions. Excellent. Now press really down into the floor with this left foot, and I want you to see if you can release your arms and keep your knee there for a moment. Take a nice full inhale and exhale. If you have to put it down, put it down. And then we'll gently lower the foot to the floor. So that's working that hip flexor muscle. Let's do the other side. We're going to go ahead and lift that knee up toward the belly. And then we're going to make some nice circular motions. We are really working and articulating the full range of motion we have in our ankle. And if you look down and it's not very much, then my advice is to do this more often. We want to keep, I've heard it said that we age from the feet up. So we want to keep our feet moving. I'm just going in both directions here. Then I'm going to press down with this right foot to really activate this leg and maybe let one arm go and then the other arm. Take a big breath here. I know this is vigorous in the hip flexor, but we need that strong. We need that strong. Every time we take a step, we're using that hip flexor. Good. And then just let the knees shimmy side to side, letting go of any tension or stress there. Perfect. Then from there, we're going to once again lift the right knee up. We're going to try to extend the leg now. So if you have to keep it on the floor, that's okay. You're just going to reach with the heel. If you can work this position, same thing. You're going to reach with the heel on the inhale. And then exhale, you're going to bend it again. Turn a little bit sideways so you can see what I'm doing. So even if it doesn't straighten all the way, folks, what we're doing is we're contracting this thigh muscle. And we're aligning the bones. Remember, we talked about that. The ears are over the shoulders. and the shoulders are over the hips as much as possible. And let's do one more. You're going to hold it here for just a moment. Take a nice full inhale and exhale. Fantastic. And then go ahead and bend that knee. Now from here, we're going to try to bring that ankle up on top of the other thigh. This is our seated pigeon pose. Some of you may feel comfortable doing this. Some of you may feel like, wow, that's too much on my outer hip. If that's the case, you're going to put your ankle over the other ankle on the floor. Alrighty? And then from there, folks, I want you to go ahead and reach your arms back and grab the back of your chair. Now, when you do this, it's going to make you sit up really tall. So for some of you, this may be, you're feeling this already. You're going to just sit here and work that. Some of you may be able to bend a little bit forward here. But see if you can keep your hands on the back of the chair. What this does is it helps us, I'm going to turn sideways so you can see, it helps us keep the back in extension rather than flexion. All right? And for most of us, if you have any arthritis or osteoporosis or you've been through cancer treatments, you know, we want to keep our spine healthy. We want to build bone mass. We don't want to create problems. So flexion in the back can create some problems. So let's keep that extension going. Imagine your heart is a flashlight and it's shining forward. If you want to drop the head a little bit, if you like the feeling of that, that's okay. Take another inhale and exhale here. Good. And then gently, gently bring yourself back up to seated. Now from here, you may need to help your knee. We're going to come into this seated eagle position. And again, if you find it more comfortable just to work the ankles at this point, that's fantastic. You're still in the pose, so you choose. Rock side to side, feel your seat nice and firm here. And then you've seen this before. We did this a moment ago. Inhale here. This time we're going to take the left elbow over the right. We're going to give ourselves a hug. And then you're just going to rock it side to side for a minute. So you hear me talk a lot about squeezing the shoulder blades together. At this point, we're really opening the space between the shoulder blades here, giving that a nice stretch. Good. And then see if you can lift your elbows up. And we're doing those little twists again, just like we did at the beginning of class. So our hips are trying to stay forward, but we're twisting from the waist. Good. And then your last one, you're just going to lift the elbows overhead. See if you can keep your elbows clasped. Pull the belly in, drop the shoulders down, and then release your arms all the way out. Good. Go ahead and release your legs and let them move side to side. Just like seaweed in the water, just a very gentle, or like you're skiing and whooshing down the mountain here. Nice. And then come back to the center. Let's take this on the other side. So we start by scooping up the knee. You get your hands right under the cables of that knee. And you can just face forward. I'm going to turn sideways a little bit. Inhale, you're going to extend. And exhale, you're going to bring it back in. And another thing I'd like to point out is use your eyes. Seeing is believing, right? So when you look down and you start extending that leg, is it out to the side? Is it going inward? Is it gone rogue? Try to get the shin and the foot to move in a straight line from your knee. Okay, so we can correct some misalignment issues that we have even when walking or standing by becoming aware of what the body's doing. Good, beautiful. Now from here, folks, we're going to move into our seated pigeon. And this foot's going to stay flexed to protect our knee. Here we are. When you're ready, bring your hands behind you. Oh, feel that illumination of the spine. So right away, it's hard to keep your shoulders rolled forward and grab the back of your chair. Roll them back and down. Lift the belly up under the rib cage. Feel the heart beaming forward. And then you can make a choice if you want to take the journey forward or not. And believe me, you're not going to go too far. Okay, that's okay though. It's not how far you're going, it's the quality of the stretch. So I'm feeling this in my outer hip. And this is a place that needs a lot of stretching, right? Those external rotators gets very tight because of just the kinds of activities that we do during the day don't necessarily encourage external rotation. And if you've had a hip replacement, like I had a hip replacement 10 months ago, That's an area that still gets really tight. I guess those muscles were dormant for quite some time. You can drop your head if you like. Another inhale and exhale here. Really using that exhale to release any places of tension. Good. Bring yourself back up. You're going to just go ahead and maneuver your knee over the other knee, like you're sitting in a chair, ready for business, but then you decide to do yoga. Open up your arms. You're going to cross your right arm over your left this time. And first, we're just doing the stretch. So really crawl those fingers up until you can almost feel the shoulder blades separating, and you're going to wiggle from the waist, just back and forth. And again, some of these are really designed to show you that you can do so much in your chair to open up your joints and to create more range of motion during the day. Lift the elbows, go a little further, because what we don't want to do if we're someone who needs to sit for their job, sitting itself is not inherently the worst thing in the world. It's how are we sitting, and are we taking breaks and stretching and moving, every hour or so. Good. And then let's see if we can bring these elbows all the way up. Here's where you're really going to feel your shoulders drop down your back. You're going to feel your side waist lengthen. Take a big inhale, and then as you exhale, go ahead and release everything. Go ahead and bring your foot down. And we're just going to tap it out for a moment. So you're just going to tap out those feet, get the circulation going. You can shake the hands, full body shake. Feels good. And then release. And now we bring ourselves all the way to the front of the chair for our seated sun salutations. Never hesitate to get some water if you need it. And we come back to mountain pose. So I'm really right at the seat of my chair. I'm warm in the belly now, I'm warm in the back, and I'm ready to move in this nice flow. So follow along. Here we go. We're going to inhale, bring the arms up toward each other. We're going to bring the palms together at the top, and then exhale the hands toward the heart. We're going to reverse that movement. Inhale, the fingertips reach up toward the sky. As you exhale, you're going to take a swan dive down into a forward fold. You're only going to go as far as feels comfortable. Some feel comfortable sliding the hands to the ankles, some don't. On your next inhale, you're going to come up halfway. Bring your hands to your knees, stretch your heart forward, and then exhale, forward fold again. Good. As you come all the way back up, bring your arms with you, fingers pointing toward the sky. And then from here, I'm turning sideways. You stay, retract your shoulders back, drop your hands to your thighs, and lift your chest into a cobra, upper body back bend. Yes. And then come back to neutral. And then from there, scoop up your right knee, pull it towards your chest, getting that nice compression, large quantity of lymph nodes in the hip area. Other knee up toward the chest. Good. And release it down. And then we're going to take a seated down dog. So you're going to stretch all your limbs out into big V positions. And you're going to bring yourself all the way back in. And once again, find that mountain pose. Take a breath. Feel your feet on the floor. Yes, here we go again. Inhale, lift the arms up. And exhale, palms come to the heart center. Beautiful. Try to keep it nice and smooth as you take this swan dive down into your forward fold. You can stay halfway and just let the chin fall, or you can slide your hands toward the floor. Everyone's going to come up, hands on the knees, chest forward here, and then exhale, forward fold again. We're going to bring our hands all the way up like we were coming into a seated plank pose. We're going to retract the shoulders back, drop the hands, lift the chest, look up at the sky, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Good. And then come back to neutral. Go ahead and scoop up your right knee. And some may want to pull the shin in at this point. If your knees are healthy and that feels better to you, absolutely go for that. Do what works for your body. And then we take our big down dog, stretching the heels out, flexing the toes, making a V shape with our entire body. And come back to neutral. Come back to mountain pose. I like threes. Here we go again. Inhale, lift. And exhale, hands to the heart. You're doing amazing. Let's keep going. Once you get the flow of this, it feels so good, and it really starts to boost the circulation. You're getting that lymphatic flow happening. Inhale halfway, heart flies forward. Make sure those shoulders roll back and down. Exhale, release. Good. Inhale, bring your hands with you. Come all the way up. Use your core to get there. Pull the shoulders back and down. Drop the hands and then lift your chest. Fantastic. Release back. Here we go with our lunge position. Pull a knee in. Squeeze it. Release it down. Other side. Pull the left knee in. And release it. Squeeze it down. And then stretch. Reaching. Maybe even looking up. And come back to position one. Take a breath. Excellent work. Good, 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 good. All right, so from here, we're now going to turn ourselves to the side. So you're going to walk your feet over to the right side. And for myself, my legs aren't super long, so I actually need to scoot back in the chair a little bit. You may find that you need that too. I'm also scooting forward, so it's almost like this hip is falling off the edge of the chair. My hand is securely on the back of my chair, and I'm going to separate my legs now and drop my front knee down to the floor, okay? Now, I like to keep that back foot tucked, but you don't have to. You can also assume this position with your 5 toenails on the floor. What we're looking for is a stretch through the hip flexor here. So you might feel that. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to reach that front arm up toward the sky. And then on your exhale, you're going to circle that back and down, like you're going to touch your heel, but you probably won't. You're going to reach up again. Feel that lift, and then turn your palm forward and reach back as if you were going to touch your heel. That's it. Let's do one more time. So the arm is just like the hand of a clock here. Reaching up, and exhale, it's releasing back. Beautiful. And now from here, you're going to go ahead and you're going to reach up one last time, but this time we're going to take a side bend toward the back of our chair. And you're going to inhale back up to the ceiling again. Keep that back hand on the chair so you're nice and sturdy. Exhale. This is just like a wave motion in the body. Inhale back up. And your last time, exhale over. And inhale back up. Bring that front hand to the chair for support. And then you're going to see if you can stretch your back leg out. So we are now moving into a warrior pose. Take a moment to align your bones, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Good. Take a big breath here, folks, big breath. And then if you can, go ahead and release the back arm out. And then you're going to lift the belly as you release the front arm out, moving into our warrior 2 position. So if you can, really press down with the feet right now to activate the inner muscles of the legs. Nice big inhale and exhale here. Good. And then we're going to take this front forearm down onto the front thigh. Now this is going to help us sort of rotate our rib cage a little bit more forward, and we're going to take that top arm right alongside the ear. This shoulder, top shoulder, has to rotate forward a little bit so you're not overstraining. Another option would be to support the base of your neck. And then we start rotating the rib cage. So thinking about this bottom part of the rib cage rotating forward and up. It's very vigorous, I know. 2 more breaths here. Inhale and exhale. You can feel the belly, that triangle shape of the belly pulling inward. Excellent work. And then you're going to release that arm down, find the support of your chair, and bring your knees back together again. And then just sit for a minute with your hands on your thighs. Take a breath. So noticing the sensations in the body after that flow. And then if you're ready, you're going to start to wiggle your feet over to the other side. And here we go, second set. Yeah, so the yoga itself is, we think of the yoga itself as just being the poses, but it's really the sensation that it leaves in your body that's so important to pay attention to. Here we go. Finagle yourself on the chair so you can drop that front knee down. And it's going to be different on this side. Okay, we're looking for psoas stretch here. Psoas running all the way from the rib cage down to the femur bone, really long muscle. And we're going to start with just this arm range of motion. We're going to inhale, the arm's going to go up toward the ceiling. Then you're going to turn your palm forward and the arm is going to come back and down, like you were going to reach your heel there. Let's do that again. Inhale, lift, and exhale down. And keeping that front foot active will really help to keep your seat comfortable. Good. And here's our last one, reaching fingertips up toward the sky, and we're going to flow toward the back of our chair now. As you exhale, you're going to bend toward the back of the chair. You're going to inhale back up again. Belly pulls in. Exhale. Good. One more time. Inhale, lift. And exhale over. And then inhale, lift. Find the support of your chair. Grab onto that front edge. And then let's try to straighten that back leg. So you're going to have to maneuver it around until you find a position that works for you. And if it's still a little bent, no worries. Okay? This is about progress, not perfection. But we're looking for a little bit more of an alignment toward the front leg. So use the chair to help you find that. And then if you feel secure, if you don't, you stay here and you keep working this. It's amazing for you. Or you can stretch the back arm out as if there was something on the table behind you wanted to reach. And then you stretch that front arm out as well. Warrior two. Press down with the feet to activate your inner thigh muscles and to feel a little bit more lightness in the upper body. Breath here. Just gazes out over the middle finger, looking to the future. Excellent. Everything is activated here. You can feel it. Now drop the forearm down to the front thigh, and then we're going to start to rotate this top shoulder forward and bring our arm alongside our ear. So getting super long in the side body, obviously, and then taking the bottom rib cage, a little bit of rotation there. It feels good to open that up. Breathing. You might feel a little bit of compression in the back. If you do, drop your tailbone, lengthen your tailbone down towards your heel a little bit. Breathe. And even this bottom shoulder is rolling back and down, it's rolling into its socket. Excellent work. And then as you're ready, when you're ready, bring yourself back up. You can assist that knee to come forward. You're going to sit in your good posture, and you're just going to take a breath. Good. And then bring yourself back to the front again. Excellent. So now from here, we're way, way, way at the very, very edge of our chair. We're going to do a couple of standing poses next. So if you don't feel like doing standing poses, you can finish right here. You can just rest or you can watch. But for those of you who want to do the other two poses, you're going to bring your arms alongside your body. And as if you were reaching back to grab your chair again, you're going to lean forward. And then on your next inhale, you're going to sweep your arms forward and try to stand up without using your hands. Did you do it? Good. So if that didn't happen for you today, no worries. You can keep practicing that one. And we're going to do a pyramid pose today. So find yourself facing your chair as much as possible, or your bench, whatever it is you're using today. And then you're going to put your right toes right under the seat of the chair, not your shin, but your toes. And then we're going to sort of dance this other foot back to a comfortable position. So my back toes are about at a 45-degree angle. I'm going to take my hands to the hips and try to square them off toward the back of my chair. Okay? And keep a little bit of softness in the knees here as we're getting into this pyramid. You don't have to be on a tightrope. Your feet can be a little bit apart here. As you exhale, we're going to bend forward from the waist. And we're going to see if we can bring our hands to the seat of the chair. Right? Now, as soon as you do that, you're probably going to feel a little more secure. So at that point, you can start to feel a lift in the hips, almost like there was a balloon in there and someone was lifting up the balloon, blowing up the balloon. So creating some space in the hips. And then there's that super sweet little alignment where we're moving the right hip back and the left hip forward a little bit. Mm-hmm. We're still lengthening the spine, reaching through the crown of the head. And some of you may feel comfortable coming down to forearms here. That's going to be more of a hamstring stretch. So you have to decide if that feels good to you or if you want to come back onto your palms. But really bring your attention to your lower back. This is an asymmetrical stretch for the spine, so it can really, really go a long way toward correcting some imbalances in those muscle groups. Take another inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, just go ahead and slide your feet together. And then very gently bring your hands to your thighs. Keep your gaze on the floor as you start to straighten. And when you feel well-founded, not dizzy at all, bring your eyes up. And you're back in mountain pose. Excellent. Let's do the other side. So you're going to put your left toes right under that chair, and you're just going to walk or dance that other foot back for a moment. Widen the feet as much as is necessary for your anatomy. Bring your hands to your hips. And you can kind of encourage that right hip to come forward. Softness in the knees as we bend forward, finding our pyramid pose today. Yeah. So the thigh muscles are lifted. You remember when we did the seated extension of the legs, we were contracting the thigh muscles. We have that now. So we don't want to lock the legs, but we do want to lift the thigh muscles up. And then we extend through the tailbone. We extend through the crown of the head. We align the hip points toward the back of our chair. So the legs are really, really vigorously working in this pose, but I still encourage you to find that beautiful ease in the upper body, the length in the spine. Some may want to come down to forearms, but that's going to take it into a deeper hamstring stretch. So if that doesn't feel right, you come on back up, but play with it. You can feel the glutes are relaxing down toward the heels a little bit. One more nice full inhale and exhale here. Good. And then you're going to bring the feet together and bend the knees a little bit and then come on up. Good. Excellent. And so if you have a nice light chair, you can just turn it around. If not, you're going to walk to the other side of the chair. We're going to do a thigh stretch today. So I'm going to turn mine slightly on the diagonal. All right. And then you're going to just go ahead and bend one knee. I'm going to choose the left because it's closer to the camera. And you're going to see if you can grab your foot, your ankle, your pant leg, and you're just going to stretch your thigh down. So my knee is not moving away from me. I've got both knees pretty close together here. Mm-hmm. And I'm really focused on this standing leg. That's my balancing leg. So this right hip is compact, it's pulling inward. And you can play with balance here. You can tap your chair. Some of you may be able to reach the arm out in front of you. You can just play with that. And if you can't reach your foot, again, you can use a strap or you can do the version where you just put the top of your foot on the mat here and then bend both legs a little bit till you feel a stretch on your thigh. Okay, so you can play with both of those variations. Some, if this feels pretty easy for you and you want a deeper stretch, you can start to move the knee back in a straight line. The body's going to come forward a little bit to adapt to that. Good. And then on your next exhale, go ahead and release the legs down and release that out. Let's take it to the other side. So feet are parallel. Mm-hmm. Really setting the feet, making sure they're parallel and toes are pointed forward. And then you're going to bend your back knee and we're going to go ahead and see if we can grab pant leg, ankle, shin, top of the foot. And if you get a little bit of cramp here, sometimes that's normal. Just go ahead, release it and try again. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 tries to be able to hold this thigh stretch without that cramp. Optional modification is just to put the back top of the foot on the floor and bend both knees, and you can move it back until you feel a little bit of a stretch there. And then play with it. Play with the balance. Feel the left hip nice and compact. Maybe you reach the other arm out. You've got the chair there, so you can be brave. You've got the support of the chair. Shoulders roll back and down. Finding a little bit of grace and ease in the upper body, but still wiggling, right? That bottom foot is wiggling. It's doing its job. It's finding balance. Balance is taken for granted, but we need to practice it every day. Good. And now you're going to release that leg down, and we're going to come back to sitting in our chair. So as you sit way back in your chair, you're once again going to let your hands come to your thighs. You can turn your palms down or palms up. You can even rest palms one on top of each other. Right here, I find this to be a very comforting position. And then I invite you either to close your eyes or once again soften your gaze toward the front. And then just breathe. Feeling all the muscles of your face let go and relax after your exertion. And letting your eyes rest in their sockets. Letting your jaw unhinge, your tongue relax. And even allowing the throat to relax, letting go of any unspoken words. Relaxing through the collarbones, the shoulders, the upper arms, the forearms, the hands, and all 10 fingers. Relaxing through the chest, the belly, relaxing the hips and the glutes. Relaxing the thigh bones, the shins, the calves, the ankles, and the arches of the feet. And all 10 toes simultaneously. And as you rest here, inhale, exhale. Inhale, flood every cell of your being with white light. On your next inhale, bring your hands together right at the heart center. And I want to thank you so much for joining me today. And I wish you all peace and health. And I hope the good energy of this practice carries you through the rest of your day. Thank you so much. Good work. See you soon.